Everyone, Odd here. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on some of the things that are going on around the world. Um, Mr. MBB333 has just stated that the buoy is still going crazy, and there's been over 1,000-foot rise in the sea level outside of Indonesia. And if you guys have been paying attention, you've seen that Krakatoa has recently erupted on Sunday, and they have raised the alert level for this volcano to level 3 out of 4. So they are concerned about Krakatoa unleashing something even more powerful. So something to keep an eye on there. But this buoy is very concerning because back in January in the Tonga region, we had a massive volcanic eruption. It looked like a nuclear bomb had went off undersea, and the satellite images showed this volcano exploding. So definitely something to keep an eye on, especially since this sea level rise of this buoy is not very far from Jakarta, which is the capital of Indonesia. And my fiance lives not too far from there in the Java province of Indonesia. So definitely something to monitor and pay attention to. Also, before we get into some other things, I just wanted to bring this up here real quick. Twitter employees raise questions about Musk's takeover and all hands meeting. Yep. It looks like it's going to be official, and he's going to end up taking over Twitter. What I find interesting about this, if you guys have been following this, there's a guy who's a board member, okay, and he's one of the higher echelons of Saudi Arabia's royal family, and he's a board member. And he doesn't want Musk to take over. And I was thinking about it. I was like, why is this guy a board member of a major social media networking company in the United States of America? And how does this guy how is he able to dictate what we can and can't do with our platforms in our own country? This should be illegal, especially when it comes to things like freedom of speech. I understand free market enterprise and all this other nonsense, and I understand business morals and ethics and how they don't align with human morals and ethics, two different things. But I learned that in college. But the thing is that when it comes down to the United States of America and the United States Constitution, there are certain moral obligations that our government should pursue to force corporations to follow the standards of the Constitution. I don't believe it's right for them to silence anybody. I think that everyone should have a voice and a platform to be able to speak their mind, whether it's opinionated or not, whether it's right or wrong. It should be up to the human race to decipher what is right and what is wrong, what is truth and what is not. So we all have our own paths, and we all need to find out what's right and what's wrong, and all things need to be questioned. Our country was founded on the very principle of questioning authority. You cannot just allow for the authority to dictate everything to you and tell you that the expert said that this is the way it's got to be and that's the way it is, when we've never vetted those experts. So who's to say if these experts are even really real? Some of them may be, but what about the other experts that are being silenced? When they always say 4 out of 5 people agree, that I'm like, well, okay, 4 out of 5. Who's that one person that didn't like it? What is his view? I want to know. That's how I am. I want to know what the one guy out of the 5 thought. You see what I mean? So they can't sit here and tell us that these experts know everything, when in fact we know that they don't. So anyway, I just think it's interesting, and I kind of hope that he does take over Twitter, and I hope he's able to start changing the platform spectrum, because things need to change. They do. I got banned from multiple social media platforms and stuff for speaking my mind about certain things, and people need to have a voice. You can't silence people because they don't align with your political views or whatever the so-called experts say. It's Orwellian. Just because you think that you can do these things because you're ministers of truth, well, define truth. Like, they have no idea, what some of these things that they're pushing on us are capable of 10 years down the road. Everybody has the right to their own opinion and has the right to their own life and choice of life. So anyway, we'll move on to the next here. It's some solar news. Fireball. Scientists advise meteorites may be scattered across southern Ontario. Yeah, back on April 17th, it says here, Western University and the Royal Ontario Museum are asking for Ontarians to report suspicious rocks. Now, this is interesting, especially given the fact that we have all this asteroidal activity, fireball activity, and other things that are going on. And it says here that on Sunday, April 17th, skywatching cameras in the Canadian province recorded a massive fireball that likely produced tens to hundreds of grams of meteorites. This is from space.com. I just thought that this would be interesting to bring to your all's attention, especially given what's happening right now. But anyway, let's move on. Sunspot sends off double flare as solar activity ramps up. About 12 hours ago, the sun produced an M-class flare, and it is heading towards Earth. So they are saying that it may trigger some radio blackouts here soon, here on the 27th. But we had radio blackouts as well today and the day before. And remember, I said this. Look for earthquake and volcanic activity to increase, especially in the region down there around Australia and southern Asia and Indonesia, southern Pacific down there, because of the solar flare that hit in that area. As you can see, it says triggering some radio blackouts over Asia and Australia. Okay, so definitely look for an increase from the amount of neutrinos that penetrated in that region because of the strength of this solar flare. And as you can also see, there is a coronal hole stream that is turning into Earth facing. So not only do we have that line of active region up there, that bright snake-like looking thing, which is the active regions of the sun where the sunspots are, and you also have some more sunspots over here in the southeastern limb that are turning in Earth facing right there next to that coronal hole stream. But this could really batter Earth with some mighty galactic winds here, folks, and it could create a bumpy ride. We know coronal hole streams have been known to cause earthquakes and volcanic activity, also cause animal life to die, like fish and stuff like that. Causes a lot of weird anomalies. So something to pay attention to as this coronal hole stream comes into play. So, yeah, just wanted to bring that to your all's attention. Also here, let's get into the next article. Huge asteroid to pass Earth Thursday may be over 2,500 feet wide. My God, this thing is huge, folks. I mean, this is like double the height of the Eiffel Tower or Empire State Building. You know, this thing is huge. So let's go ahead and read the article here. It says, on Thursday, this is from Newsweek, Earth will be visited by a massive asteroid with a width that could be as great as double the height of the Empire State Building. There you go. But it won't be alone, and its companion is even more tremendous in size. Hold up. The asteroid 418135 2008 AG33, with an estimated size of between around 1,150 and 2,560 feet, will speed past Earth at 23,264 miles per hour on Thursday. But just a few days after this, another asteroid, potentially even larger, will pass our planet. The asteroid designated as 467460 2006 JF42 which will make its closest approach on May 9th, 2022, has an estimated size of between 1,247 feet and 2,822 feet. That means that potentially it could be as wide as 2.5 Empire State Buildings. So, yeah, this is interesting. So the one asteroid is supposed to be about 2 million miles away from Earth. The other is about 3.5 million miles away from Earth. So, relatively speaking, yes, it's a near-Earth object. Yes, it's potentially hazardous. But will it strike Earth? No one knows. It's pretty far out there, folks. Usually I don't tend to worry too much about these space rocks unless they are closer than the moon. in between our geosynchronous satellites and Earth, really. That's when you have to start worrying. That's why I believe that 2012 DA-14 was the asteroid that hit Russia. Of course, they said it wasn't, but we were all expecting an asteroid that day, and just lo and behold, there was an asteroid. And they're like, oh, look at this little speck up here. That's 2012 DA-14. That looked like a little line going by. Don't buy it. So, yeah. Anyway, of course, NASA's not going to say that they're wrong when everybody else in the conspiracy world was saying that we were going to get hit by this thing. So they had to bite the bullet and say, oh no, this is just a random rock coming from the sun, just so happened to be on the same day as 2012 DA-14. So, yeah. But anyway, if these rocks don't hit Earth, look for there to be sisters following it. There's always a trail of debris with these things. So as Earth is moving, we may go through these things' tails, and we may be pelted by rocks. Some of them may be large in size. Some of them may explode over a major populated area or not. They may do nothing. But always pay attention. Keep your eyes to the sky here in the next couple weeks, folks. A lot of increased fireball activity and asteroidal near-Earth object activity. Also, solar activity and geophysical activity with earthquakes and volcanoes. So, a lot going on, folks. But anyway, let's get into this next article here. Solar storm alert. Geomagnetic storm solar radiation and radio blackout expected to hit Earth by April 27th. So here's more radio blackouts to come. So as we are now entering into April 26th, we will see these things tomorrow. And I believe that, this is only going to increase, folks. I mean, we got to go all the way to 2025 with this thing. I mean, our sun is really active right now. So there's people like Suspicious Observers and a few others that I've been watching that believe that our sun is about to perform something very deadly. And it's going to go into a nova phase and could possibly destroy all life on Earth. And a lot of, astrophysicists, not all, but some, I should say, are talking about this. So something I've been investigating, I'm looking more into. I want to get a little bit more in-depth research to this, become a little bit more knowledgeable about that subject. I know a good deal about the sun and solar activity and the influx charts and things like that, the KP index, other things. But I want to make sure that I'm able to understand this more before I bring it to your all's attention. I've been working a lot, so in my downtime, I'm kind of trying to do some of this research to figure some things out on some of the videos that you guys have asked me to cover, which I will here soon. I'm also looking into heightened UFO activity around the world and a huge increase in this. It's another thing that I'm also going to be bringing to your all's attention here soon, as well as the food shortages and the possible other variants and strains of viruses that may be released. Lots of things to go over, folks, that I want to bring to your all's attention. So there's another thing I wanted to show you all here real quick before I go. Just give me 1 second. And here it is. Reports, this is from the week. Reports Sweden and Finland agree to apply for NATO membership at the same time. Now, this is sending Putin a very clear message that NATO is not scared of them, and that Finland and Sweden are not as well. So Russia threatened Finland and Sweden a few weeks back, saying if they decide to join NATO, then there will be dire consequences for them. And we know that Russia has been playing around over there a lot, around Finland, Sweden, Norway, and all that. And I don't know exactly what Putin's going to do here. I do know that Vladimir Putin has lost his mind. He's kind of just become this very isolated, dark figure all of a sudden. And he is just purely enraged and just full of power and just in a very evil state of mind, I believe. And I believe that he wants to destroy the West. His whole intended goal with this war was to deplete the West, destroy our power, and shake up the geopolitical spectrum of everything and rule the world, change the world order. And I think that, this could be a telltale sign. We know that Russia's military has been stretched thin. A lot of its forces have been destroyed. They're really struggling here in this war. And I don't know what Putin may do here, but Putin still has over 6,000 nuclear weapons. He can still wipe out the entire planet whenever he feels like it. That's what people tend to forget. They're like, oh, well, Russia's weak and Russia's doing this and that, and their military is being depleted. Yeah, but he get in a button and just it's all over. That fast. So he's got nuclear weapons. It's not anything to play around with. Okay, yeah, some of his forces are being depleted, but what happens when he starts using tactical nukes? What happens if he hits, let's just say, Athens? Let's just say he hits Athens. He hits the United Kingdom. He hits France. He hits Brussels. He hits Rome. And he hits Kiev. And he hits let's just say Spain. All at one time with tactical nuclear weapons. Boom, 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 boom. Do you really think that that's going to change the whole game? Absolutely, it's going to change the whole game. That's how fast and easy this can escalate and change, folks. Like, the media is trying to portray that, oh, there's nothing to see here. Russia still has more nukes than anybody in the world. So definitely something to monitor, keep an eye on, pay attention to. Just thought I'd bring that to your all's attention. Tell me what you think's going to happen. Do you think Putin's going to use these nuclear weapons? Let me know at the bottom in the comments section. Of course, if you liked my video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We talk about all kinds of fun stuff. A lot of preparedness and awareness here on this channel. And pray for me as I've been enduring some things lately, just, knowing what's going on and just feeling like there's just people around me that just don't care. They don't want to hear it. I'm not a prophet by no means, but I know that how Jeremiah felt in the Bible. Jeremiah spoke of how people would make fun of us and silence us. And they would say to Jeremiah, prophesy to us and tell us, war on every side, they say. Scoffing at him, mocking at him. And Jeremiah said, you know what, I'm going to shut up the words of the Lord in my heart, and I'm not going to speak them anymore. He was troubled by this. That's why he wrote the whole book of Lamentations. It was very upsetting to him to see his people destroying themselves, knowing that Babylon was coming, and there was nothing that he could do to stop it. He tried. He was the voice of reason for people to repent, and they would not change their ways. They would not pray. They would not stop. And Babylon came. So I just wanted to go ahead and bring that to your all's attention anyway, and, just get the information to you. Like always, I love you guys. God bless you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.